Alright, what's up guys? I'm here to show you how to do this thing right. This is how you do the PMDG 737-800 setup correctly. First thing you want to do, Shift 3, bring up this. PMDG setup, panel state load, cold and dark. This is so we can put this thing in cold and dark, so it'll be all realistic. And while we're waiting for that to analyze, we're gonna go do this. This is my Pacific livery here. I'm basically doing this to show off my airline. You can find us on fsairlines.net under Pacific World Airways. You should come and join us. We need all the pilots we can get. We're pretty big right now, but you can never be too big. Also, the TeamSpeak name will be in the description. So, now that all the systems are analyzed, one thing I'd like to point out, the parking brake. Guys, don't trip out if it doesn't go off. I'll show you that later. So, overhead panel. Obviously, we need power, so battery, and let's just turn on the emergency lights. Standby power is already on. One thing, a lot of stuff didn't turn off during this, and it does that. Just turn off these. Yes, you have to. So, trim air doesn't matter. You can do that if you want. Next thing. Actually, you can stay right up here, but just for training purposes, we have no power. Only in the FMC. So, FS actions. And let's connect ground power. Remember the wheel clocks. If you remove this, everything gets removed. So keep that set. Okay, so you got the ground power line on. It's available. So turn it on. And let's go line our IRSs. Set them both to nav. And they're aligned. I have mine set to 15 seconds. Clear that message. Let's go back to the FMC and init ref. Now, cool little trick. Click right here. Green box will pop up. And now guess what you can do? You can type with your keyboard. Put it right here in the ref report. And now copy this by clicking it and put it right here. And that's all you gotta do. Now, hit routes. Put that there. And let's say we're going to Caden, Denver. So then you do that. You hit next. Then you would type in all your little fixes. But we don't have any, of course. So, I can't stress this one enough. Whenever you do this, remove this. Otherwise, you won't be able to do anything. Can't, like, I'll try to bring up another panel. It will not work. So, now we've got all that done. So, let's start the APU. And this would be a good time to start loading passengers if you had some. We're not going to do it just for the sake of time. And we're going to wait for this light to come on. And now it's on. So, Gen 1 and Gen 2. Now you get your APU started. So, now what you can do go back to your FMC here, menu, FS actions, ground connections. Now you can remove all this just by clicking the wheel clocks. Now you can unset your parking brake, but if you have GSX, they will yell at you for that. They hate that, so don't do that until you're ready to go. So next thing, basically the very last thing, is your engine start. So what you're gonna do is set this to both before we do anything. And my bad, don't set it to that. Set it to ground. I did it wrong. Sorry. And at this point, we can turn on the isolation valve to auto, and of course we need the APU bleeds. Look down here at this display and wait for your N2 to hit 28. There we go. Fuel control. Fuel flow on. And of course, this isn't like the default plane where the engine shoots up. It's not realistic. It won't do that. It'll go, that's how it shoots up right there. And basically, you just wait for this thing to click. Right now, let's set some fuel flow in there so it doesn't shut down. And you hear the click. Now we can move it over to continuous. The same thing with this engine. Turn on the electrics for it. There you go. And 28. And then you let that rise just a little bit. And now let's turn on some fuel control. I don't know what that warning was. Don't pay attention to those. Those come up whenever you're starting your engines. Probably just telling you. Now, we've done all this. That's pretty much all you guys have to do. And now, you would do this whenever you're pushing back. But for the sake of time, we're not going to do all that. So, turn on your engine 1 gen, engine 2 gen. Now, that's available, obviously, because it's not off. So, turn it off. We don't need that. And my mistake, whenever you start your engines, turn on your beacon light. I believe that's the anti-collision. But whenever I turn on one light, I like to have a lot of lights on. Strobe, that doesn't go on until on the taxiway. Same thing with landing lights. Taxi lights, it's daylight. You don't need them. So, next thing. This is not auto. I don't know why it says it. Actually, so you basically set this to how high you're going. Let's say I'm going up 35,000 feet. So I'm doing this with my mouse wheel. It's a lot faster than doing this. So you don't need to worry about this. This doesn't matter. That's your land altitude. You don't need that ever. So, next thing. This would be for center fuel. This would automatically be on if you had center fuel. I think we do. And we do. And it says config in bright yellow letters. Because we didn't put on the fuel flow for it. So that tank will not work. So you need to have this on. If you want this tank to ever even work. And now you start burning fuel. Now here's how this thing works. You'll burn fuel all out of your center. And then it'll go to the sides. Or the left and right. And then once those are gone, you're screwed. Next, we can turn off our APU bleeds, of course. Keep those on auto. And now we can do this. 1, 2, packs. And this thing here is for your fans. I like to have that on. You can hear them. I paused for a second to let you hear that thing kind of boost up. And that's how it basically will sound. Now, once you've done all that, you want to turn on your window heat so your windows don't get all foggy on you. And your P-dot heat. So, and then your yaw damper needs to be on. Okay guys, that is pretty much it. Besides the engine continuous, which I keep forgetting, I'm sorry. Well guys, that's pretty much it. You've got all your displays, and if you did type in something, you would see your map. Basically, whenever you get up in the sky, the only thing you need to do, the only thing you ever need to do, is come up here, is do this. This should be on taxi. Whenever you get up in the sky, you do this. Autopilot A, LNAV, VNAV, and it'll fly itself. They didn't turn on because we're on the ground, and it knows that we are, so it won't turn on. And a few more tips and tricks are TCAS. I got a lot of questions about that. Shift 4. TA/RA. Put it right there. You'll have TCAS. There you go. You got TCAS. Hit this button right here. Right in the middle of your range. There you go. Whenever you get up higher and this thing, your altimeter is blinking yellow, you hit the STD. But it'll be yellow now because we don't need that yet. Only at higher altitudes. And it'll tell you whenever you need to. STD, center. Now you have traffic. So you're good to go. So now it'll yell at you if you have a plane. Now come over here. Menu. PMDG setup. Aircraft. And equipment. Watch this. Panel. I can change it. I like it on this one personally. Honeywell or Collins. I like it on Collins. Next thing, if you just seen what I went to, service-based failures. You can turn that on. You will now have plane failures. Doesn't happen often, but it can happen, and it will happen eventually. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, F6V1, and make sure you come and join my TeamSpeak server. We need all the pilots we can get. Alright? Thank you. You guys have fun.